have a winner. Company Town is eliminated. The winner of Canada Reads 2017 is 15 Dogs.
Isn't that great? 15 Dogs by Andre Alexis can add winner of 2017 Canada Reads to its accolades, and there are so many of them. Not easy to sum up the book, but I'm going to give it a shot, okay? But you've probably already read it. If you haven't, this is your chance to go out and get it. It's about a group of dogs, 15 of them, that are granted human consciousness, human language, a study in the beauty, the perils of the human mind, an allegory, a parable, call it what you will. It's really deep, but it's helping to defend the book on the Canada Reads panel was Humble the Poet, a Toronto MC and spoken word artist. And he joins me right here in studio, along with the author himself, Andre Alexis. Andre, let me ask you, are you feeling pretty happy? Or are you feeling like a god? Because your book starts with two gods having a discussion.
Okay, so A, no, I'm not feeling like a god. B, I'm feeling a little confused because 15 Dogs has been going and going and going, and it's very difficult to predict how it works in the public. It's wonderful. But I'm also happy because of Humble, who I think must have done an amazing job. I didn't listen, but I heard. And
Humble, you know, Alexis says he's a little confused. What is it that caught you? And you said, I have to defend this book, and now you've defended it with a winning title.
I mean, it was the shortest one that came in the But to be honest, the premise was very simple. You can explain it to anybody. 15 dogs given human consciousness. Can any of them die happy? And I love stories of fiction that have an underlying truth to them, that are that tell amazing stories. And that's what this was. And it was, I wanted to say, I didn't get a chance to say it in the show, but it's like ballet in words. It was wonderful. Wow,
ballet in words. You're writing a book next, aren't you? You know what? We're talking about artificial intelligence today. We're talking about what came down in the budget, $125 million the Trudeau government is putting towards a strategy for AI, a sort of pan-Canadian strategy. And here you are talking about human intelligence given to dogs. What was it that inspired you to write this story?
I always have a thought when I hear about AI, and that is that I remember hearing an experiment done in a university about 25 years ago in which they taught a machine to be stupid. They would ask it 1 + 1, what does that equal? And it would answer 4. And I thought that is the biggest advance in AI because it teaches ignorance, which is what we all have.
Right.
And to learn to deal with our limited information, that is the root of what thinking like a human is. As to what influenced 15 Dogs, a movie called Teorema by Pier Paolo Pasolini, in which a god comes down and influences an entire family. I loved that idea. I loved the idea of the divine, and I allowed myself to play with it in a way that dealt with my love for dogs, my love for animals, and my love for animal stories.
Right. And it wasn't 15 cats, so you love dogs more than cats, don't you?
I love cats.
You love them,
I adore
too.
them. I once actually lived with about 11 of them after one of them.
You were the cat dude?
Yeah.
And then clearly he wanted to hire 15 dogs to get rid of those 11.
You couldn't write a novel about cats. It would be too all over the place.
Humble, what is it you would like people to take away, not only from your support of the book, but your, I suppose, understanding of it?
I think it's a 50-50 relationship between you and any book you read. It's not simply the responsibility of the book to create something for you. It's all about your context as well. And I was digging deeper, and during the debates, I was noticing repeatedly that not everybody was digging deeper. And when I was able to show opportunities to dig deeper, not only in my books and some of the other competing books, I think we all enjoyed them on a richer level. And I think everyone should continually peel away at themselves, peel at the way they understand the world, keep an open mind and an open heart.
You know, you started off by saying it was the smallest book. I mean, it's not a tome anyway. But didn't you find that you had to put it down every now and then just to digest?
I had to put it down a few times because it made me cry.
Yeah.
In terms of digestion, no, I really liked the pace of it. I really liked the way it went.
No, I mean, just to take it in. You know, you couldn't just sit there and read through it and say, okay, now I'm done with that one.
There were a lot of pages I had to
thinking,
fold over because what we call them are, I'm also a rapper, and we call them bars when you have these quotables. And he had, one of my favorite quotables is, having an understanding of someone does not mean, having complete understanding of a being does not mean happiness.
Did you say of a beer?
I was thinking about my beer for a moment, but having complete understanding of another being does not mean happiness. And I remember that those are the type of things that kind of stick with you. and it makes you think about them, well after the book has been put down.
Right. And what about for you? What was it, Andre, that you would like readers to take away?
If there's anything that I would like them to take, you sort of throw these things out and hope to get any number of reactions. There's not kind of one reaction that I would like, but I suppose if I had to bring it down to one reaction, it would be pleasure, first of all, in the reading. And second of all, it would be an engagement with what the notion of human is, because as I was going through it, that was my engagement as well.
What are you working on now?
I'm working on, surprise, surprise, a novel that is about what Canada is, but it's kind of, I think of it as a jaunty ride through hell, where Southern Ontario provides hell.
You know what? Quick story. I remember my daughter, when I was walking her to junior kindergarten years and years ago during the referendum, and I was trying to explain to her what I was going to be late, and Mommy has to work on the referendum tonight. It's all about Canada. And we finally get to the school, and she looks at me, and she's 4, and she says, "Mommy, what's Canada?"
Ooh.
And it was like this profoundly great question. I thought I'd done this great job of explaining, but you've done a great job of explaining through 15 dogs in terms of what people see as humanity.
Yes.
I want to thank you. Humble, what are you working on, just so I can give you the same opportunity?
As a musician, I'm getting ready to release a lot of music, as well as I've published 2 books of my own.
Yep.
And now with all this additional attention, hopefully those books can get a second breath into the public space.